Hey, salam everybody, this is Ali with Halali Media, and what we're going to do today is change a light bulb, believe it or not. That's okay, this is a little bit different of a light bulb. We're going to see what we're trying to change is one of these soffit bulbs. This is what we're going to be changing, is a soffit bulb that is kind of attached into the house, kind of in the awning here. Now let's climb up the ladder, figure this out. So, as we climb up, we realize that, again, this is inside. It is there kind of with a little bit of tension. You just kind of have to pull that out. It might require a little bit of jiggling because, it might be in there for a while. But when you look in there, again, the bulb is pretty easy. I can't really show you, but you just gotta come with both hands here. You just gotta twist the bulb out. And once you twist the bulb out, you realize it's kind of this two-prong GU10 connector up here. That's what it's referred to as. And up here you can see the way you would put this back in is that there are a couple of holes down here, and there's a smaller end and a bigger end. So you put the bulb, the two knobs, into the bigger end and then twist it into smaller ends to keep it in place. The other thing that's keeping this bulb in place is actually inside this fixture. You'll see kind of these two metal pins. These are kind of like two metal springs in there, and these kind of help the bulb keep its position. And this particular bulb can actually pivot a little bit. So you can kind of see it'll pivot. Now what we can do is we can just kind of pull this bulb out. Don't worry about those pins too much. You might just kind of move them to the side, but you just kind of have to. You're just going to have to kind of pull it out. Once it's been pulled out, you'll see those two pins there. You do have to move the pins over to the side a little bit. They're essentially springs, so you can kind of you can see they're pretty flexible. It's a little tension based. The tension from the springs is what holds the bulb in place. So what we'll do is we'll get our new bulb. Here we have a nice brand new shiny bulb. You probably want to get one that is outdoor or wet rated, because again, this is outdoors, and these are very common, these connectors in landscape lighting. GU10s tend not to come wet rated, and they're very difficult to find wet rated, and but there are other bulbs that probably are a little bit better for this. But again, this fixture right here is a GU10, and it's under this awning, so we probably don't really have a lot of problems with water unless there's a leak underneath, which I don't believe there is. The other thing about this is that you can find them either in halogen or LED. My preference would be to, again, get the LED bulb. Consumes less electricity and potentially lasts longer than a halogen, but the halogens, especially on startup, may be a little bit brighter. And the other thing is, if you have a dimmable unit, because a lot of times these are also used in kind of sconce type lightings indoors that are dimmable, or track lighting, then again you might want a bulb that is dimmable, which a lot of times the LEDs are not. So be sure to check that out when you buy the bulb, whether it is dimmable or not, and also whether it is halogen or LED. So I'm going to first just kind of pop this back into the fixture. You can see it's all just kind of tension based, and so we're just going to use the other hand as well. And it'll give a little bit of a turn, and now it's kind of back, and you can see the pins are right there kind of holding it in place. And now it can move around, and we can get kind of that directional pivot. And now again, we're just going to pop this back into here. So I'm going to put it in the smaller ends, so the knobs here on the end on the GU10 connector, we're going to put them on into these smaller end of these kind of P-shaped holes, and then twist it into the larger end. Let me do that 1 second. I just need both hands. It's going to hold by the bulb and not by the fixture here, because a lot of times this fixture will just keep twisting and you won't twist the bulb itself. And again, this is all tension based, so you can essentially just push this back in, and now we are ready to go. Yeah, now that we have this installed, we're ready to test it out. Let's try turning it on and seeing if it lights up. There it goes, nice and bright. It's working, and well, we've replaced our light bulb right there. As you can see inside the house, we might have a few of these, and some of those are higher up. And so what I would recommend is, if you're not comfortable going up a ladder, ask a handyman or professional to do this for you. I mean, it seems like it is quite an expense for light bulbs, but again, better that you pay a couple of bucks than break your back falling off a ladder. So be sure to always practice proper ladder etiquette and ladder safety. And also, if you can't do it, have somebody else do it. No point in getting injured over a couple of bucks. So thank you everybody for watching this video, and as always, be halali.